Hey, my name is Jordan, and on this channel I share dreams and interpretations from the Lord, and I hope you're having a blessed day. If you're interested in that, check out my channel. And I got my son here with me, so this might be a tad bit of a long video, but bear with me, we'll get to the meat of it. So I had a dream on January 25th of 2026, and in this dream I was at my grandma's house where I was staying for 2 nights, and while there I seen into 2 different rooms, and then my grandma returned on the second night and I was in the kitchen cooking. In my pot there was 3 potatoes and 1 pear, which I picked up and I ate the pear. When she got into the house, she said to me, like, "Why did you eat that pear? That was my last pear." And she was so angry with me about the pear. And then I went down into the living room space where another family member of mine that I've had a lot of personal issues with was there, and she was really angry with me, and I said, I just came to say I'm sorry. And she was like, "Well, I didn't ask you to do that. I don't need you to do that. I don't want you to do that." And then I said, like, the Lord says that we should forgive 70 times 7 or 77 times 7. And then I walked up to another family member in another part of the house, and we began to discuss my PTSD, where the 2 of us like gathered together and agreed that this was an issue that I had been having. Then I decided to leave the house, and I had my son strapped on me in a baby carrier, and as we walked out into the yard was covered in snow, and it basically transformed. There was like military vehicles, military personnel, like gas tanks and different kinds of equipment that I don't even recognize, walking around, like talking to each other. There was one group of soldiers in camo, and then there was another group of soldiers in black uniforms with these black square fuzzy hats on, and I'd never seen them before, so I had to look it up. And then I came to like a ventilation type system where I began to crawl along it while the baby was strapped in the carrier, and to hide from them. And I had a vision in this like little tunnel thing of a flag, and it was red with a yellow sickle, and then it had yellow stars. And then I came out to kind of like a stage-like area. It was kind of like a stage-like area. It had like bleacher seats, but everything was all black, and the wall on the side was like the inside of a movie theater, with it had like holes in the walls up at the top, or little windows or something, and the other side of the theater had just like this giant black hole, and the lights were on in this staged area. And then people were looking for me, so I went running to hide in this room on the other far end of this stage where a woman was blocking the door. Her body, it was like tied to a chair, and there was blood coming out from under the door. And then I managed to push my way into the room, get into the room to hide, and I peeked out. There was like a window with blinds, and I peeked out those blinds, and there was men in like business suits looking at maps. And then I seen footsteps like coming towards the door from under the light, and I thought like they're coming. And then I woke up. Okay. Now, after there's been much like prophetic stuff that has come with this over the course of the week, because this dream is just like really crazy. So there's different symbolism within all of it. What are you doing, Stinker? Yeah. There's different symbolism within all of it. Like the beginning of the dream, there's like offense, then there's gathering in groups of 2, And then there's the portion of it talking about forgiveness, 70 times 7. And then there's this portion of it where there's kind of the military, and so that's prophetic on its own, and the alliance between Russia and China. So that is just like another prophetic thing. And then the season being winter is another prophetic sign, and then, or symbolism, I guess. And then, and then there's the woman who was like, been tortured, so there's that portion of it. And then there's the men with the maps who were like searching. One kind of had the countenance of Peter Thiel, but I'm not like 100% on that. Obviously he had the countenance, he was like him. I don't know if that's relative or not relative. However, so what I got from the Lord, and then I had been hearing all is fair in love and war. Now, this is a proverb that was coined by Jordan.Ellen.Metzger. And this is a proverb that suggests that the pursuit of love basically negates all normal behavior and ethics and fair play. It means that it justifies deceitful or ruthless tactics for the victory of winning a war, or justifies any kind of means in order to achieve a goal. But we see that Jesus actually teaches us a different teaching in Matthew 18. And in Matthew 18, it's quite long, so I'm going to read it if you want to stick around for the whole video. Otherwise, you could also read it on your own time to get more of an understanding of this whole prophetic dream. But I'm going to read the whole chapter, okay? So, give me 1 second to situate this guy. So, Matthew chapter 18 says, "At the same time came disciples unto Jesus, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus called a little child unto him. Yeah, and he sat him in the midst of them, and he said, Verily I say unto you, except you should be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, is the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receives me. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believes in me, it would be better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must need be that offenses come, but woe to the man by whom the offense cometh. Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut it off and cast them from thee. It's better for you to walk into life halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet and be cast into everlasting fire. If your eye offends thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee, for it is better for thee to enter life with 1 eye, rather than having 2 eyes and be cast into hellfire. Take heed that you despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost. How think ye, if a man have 100 sheep, and one of them gone astray, doth he not leave the 99 and goeth into the mountains and seek that which is gone astray? And if so be that he find it, verily I say unto you, he rejoices more than that sheep, than of the 99 which were not astray. Even so, it is not the will of your Father which is in heaven that any of these little ones should perish. Moreover, if your brother shall have a trespass against thee, 1 second. No. Don't go over there. Come over here. Here we go. Gotcha. Okay. If your brother shall trespass against thee, then go tell him his fault between thee and him alone. And if he shall hear thee, then he has gained thy brother. Then you have gained your brother. But if he will not hear ye, then take with him 1 or 2 more, that they by mouth 2 or 3 witnesses, that every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. And if he neglect to hear the church, then let him be unto you as a heathen or a publican. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever you shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever you shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Again I say unto you, that if 2 of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. Then Peter to him said, Lord, how often shall a brother sin against me, and I should forgive him? Till 7 times. And Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but I say 70 times 7. Therefore in the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a certain king, which had taken account of his servants, and when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him, which owed him 10,000 talents. But forasmuch as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded that he should be sold, and his wife and children, and all that he had, so that the payment would be made. And the servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay you all. And the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion, and he loosed him and forgave him his debt. But the same servant went out and found one of his fellow servants, which owed him 100 pence, and he laid his hands on him and took him by the throat and said, Pay me what you owe me. And then the fellow servant fell down at his feet and besought him, saying, Have patience with me, and I will pay you all. And he would not, but he went and cast him into prison, that he should pay the debt. And some translations say that he was tortured to pay the debt. So when his fellow servants saw that this was done, they were very sorry, and they came and told their Lord what was done. And then his Lord after that, he called him and said unto him, You wicked servant, I forgave you all of your debt, because you desired me. Should not you also have compassion on your fellow servant, even as I had pity on you? And his Lord was wrath, and delivered him to the tormentors, till he should pay all that was due unto him. So likewise shall my heavenly Father do unto you also, if you from your hearts forgive not every one of his brothers and their trespasses. I pray this word could bless you today in Jesus' mighty name. Take care, y'all.